Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am Arif and I welcome you all to lecture number 18 on the subject of computer organization and assembly language programming. The title of today's session is Interfacing Input Output Devices with the Hack Computer. Well, dear students, in the last two lectures we discussed in detail about the two flavors of hack machine language. The assembly version, in which we used mnemonics, and the binary version, which was a string of zeros and ones in a special format. Before we write down programs in assembly language of hack computer and execute them, let me change gear. Let me change gear and talk about the I/O devices. As we all know that computers are equipped with all sorts of input-output devices. So today we are going to discuss as how we can interface these I/O devices with the computer. For our hack computer, we will use a built-in screen chip and a built-in keyboard chip as output and input device respectively. Today we will understand the design of these two built-in chips, and for a very clear understanding, we'll also have a demo of working of these two built-in chips on our favorite hardware simulator. So let's start playing. Dear students, we will interface a screen chip and a keyboard chip with our hack computer. These devices are sometimes called peripherals because, as you see on this slide as well, they exist outside the computer. We can have more devices like mouse, microphones, speakers, printers and so on, but right now we will talk about only these two devices. Now a $100 question is, how do you control these devices? A simple answer can be, we write a program to read a keyboard and we write a program to write this screen. The next question is, how to write such programs? Well, the answer is there are two approaches, a high level approach and a low level approach. In the high level approach, we use sophisticated software library functions. For example, in C we use the printf function. In C++ we use the cout object. In Java we use system.out.println. In Python we use the print command and so on. Similarly, to read the keyboard, in C you might have used the scanf function, or in C++ you might have used the cin object. In Java we can use some method of the scanner class. In Python we can use the input function. So there are a lot of library functions which are available to read and write on these two devices, and that is known as the high level approach. In the low level approach, we actually write device driver programs. And a device driver is a program that controls a particular type of device that is attached to a computer. Well, this slide shows the two techniques using which we can interface I/O devices with computer. I think I have talked about this slide in some previous session as well. Well, I will touch upon the isolated I/O in the second part of the course when we will do the assembly of Intel x86-64 architecture. In our hack computer, we will interface the screen and the keyboard using this memory mapped I/O technique. Both these devices will be mapped onto some memory region of our hack computer, and we will read or write these devices by reading or writing those memory mapped regions. And one of the advantage of using this memory mapped I/O technique is that we do not need separate machine instructions for reading or writing the I/O devices. We can use the same machine instruction that are used to read or write the memory. The same instruction can be used to read or write the I/O devices. This was all about the mapping or interfacing of IO devices. Maybe in some later session, we will see the three ways using which the data can be transferred between the CPU and these IO devices. They are program controlled IO, interrupt initiated IO, and the DMA, the famous direct memory access. Okay, dear students, now get ready to do a bit of scuba diving in order to understand the design of computer. These screen chip first. First, I will deal with the screen chip, and then we will deal with the keyboard chip. So, let's talk about the screen chip first and how we are going to interface this screen chip with the hack computer. This is an overview. Well, our screen chip, this screen is mapped onto some place inside the memory that we will call the screen memory map. And the screen memory map is actually a designated memory area inside the RAM dedicated to manage our display unit. To write something on this display unit, we write some bits in the designated memory area. We write a 0 to make a pixel off or white, and we write a 1 to make a pixel on or black. This physical display unit is continuously refreshed from the contents of this memory map many times per second. So whatever we write in the memory map makes the corresponding pixels of screen black and white in the next refresh cycle. And this is how, at a very abstract level, the hello world message is written on this screen. Well, dear students, this is how we are used to of thinking about our display units. And this is how the hack computer look at the display unit, which is our screen chip. It is a table or matrix consisting of 256 rows starting from 0, 1, 2 and so on to 255, with each row having 512 columns, 0, 1, 2 and so on to 511. The intersection of each row and a column is what is known as a pixel. So there are a total of 131072 pixels in this screen chip. Since this is a pure black and white screen, so we can either turn a pixel on or we can turn a pixel off. For example, the first 4 pixels in the first row, in the 0th row, 0, 1, 2 and 3, they are on. The 4th pixel is off, the 5th is on, the 6th is off, and so on. Now how do we control this screen? Since this display unit or this screen is interfaced with the hack computer using the memory mapped IO technique, so this is the portion of our RAM chip called the screen memory map. Since there are 131072 pixels on our screen, so we need to have a 131072 bits inside the RAM chip designated for this screen chip. So this memory map, this one, consists of a sequence of 8K words. 8K words, each word of 16 bit. So a total of 131072 bits. Each bit in this memory map relate to a specific pixel on this screen or display unit. For example, if you see the 16 bits of the word at address 0 over here in this memory map, these 16 bits relate to the first 16 pixel of row 0 on the screen. Note, these four ones and then 0 1 0 1 and so on. So you have four ones over here, black, then 0 1 0 1 and so on. So now we need to devise a formula using which we can map each pixel on this screen with each bit inside this memory map. Let us try doing that. Okay, dear students, each row of this screen over here is having 512 pixels. So each row of this screen can be mapped onto 32 words on this memory map having 512 bits. So row 0 of this screen is mapped to memory map from addresses 0 to 31. Similarly, row 1 of this screen is mapped to memory map from address 32 to 63 and so on. Finally, the last row 255 of this screen is mapped to memory map from addresses 8159 to 8191. Now we have a fair idea. Let us devise a formula for this mapping. That is, if we want to set a pixel on or off, the address of the pixel row comma column is known to us. So given a row comma column on this screen, how can I calculate the address of the 16-bit word in the memory map that contains that specific pixel? And later, how can I locate the specific bit within that word? So let's do it. So dear students, suppose I want to map a specific row and column on this screen to a specific word on this memory map. We multiply the row by 32 and then add column divided by 16 to it. Remember, this is integer division. This gives us the address of the memory word in this memory map. Dear students, there is still a wrinkle to iron. This screen memory map is a 8K chip called screen. When we build the overall hack computer, the screen chip will be part of the overall bigger RAM chip. And when we will take this memory map of this screen chip and put it in a larger memory context, the base address of the memory map will change. Let's suppose that this memory map starts from the RAM address 16384. So 16384 is the starting address of this memory screen in the overall RAM chip. So all these addresses will be changed. So this address 0 will be changed to 16384 and this last address 8191 will change to 16384 plus 8191. So the formula is changed a little bit. That is, we are just adding 16384 to the above formula. Now we have the word, and now we need to arrive at the specific bit within the word, and for that we take the remainder division of column with 16, and then we set or reset that particular bit, and that particular pixel on the screen will be on or off accordingly. So what we do is, we take this row column, we get the word, we set that word, and we write that word in the memory again, and we refresh it. Let us map the screen pixel at row 255 and column 7 to the appropriate bit in the memory map using this formula. So if we put 255 at the place of row and 7 at the place of column, this formula becomes 32 into 255 plus 7 divided by 16. Remember, this is integer division. We get 8160. So this is the 8160 word. And within this word, if we want to arrive at the exact bit, that can be achieved by taking the remainder division of the column with 16. The column number is 7. 7 mod 16 is of course 7. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 1. So this is 1. So once we get this word, we change this word as per our requirement, and then we write this word back inside the screen memory map, and in the next cycle it is refreshed, and this or the 16 bits which we have changed at the address 8160 will be changed. My dear students, I have tried to make you understand the mapping of this 2D representation or matrix representation of the screen chip with the linear memory map over here in the overall RAM chip of the hack computer. I will strongly recommend that you should rewind this part of the video, listen it again, do the math on the copy and pencil to have a very clear understanding. And this slide shows you the bigger picture again. This is the bigger RAM chip, hack RAM chip of 32K words. The initial 16K words up till address 16384 are for data or general purpose usage. Then we have the screen memory map of 8K words, and note the base address which is 16384. And whenever we want to write the screen, we actually write this screen memory map and then we refresh. My dear students, I think now you understand fully as to how much work it actually takes to write a hello world message on the display unit. Okay, so now is the time to see how this screen chip actually works inside the hardware simulator. Let's see a demo. Well, the hardware simulator is already running. Let me click this chip icon and load the chip from the built-in chip folder. I want to load screen.htl, which is a built-in chip available to us. We don't have to write its code. We don't have to write the HDL. Well, in the HDL pane, inspect the interface of this built-in chip. It has 3 inputs. A 16-bit input named in, a single bit load input which is a write enable bit actually, a 13-bit address input that specify the address at which we need to write something. And remember this, since this is a 8K memory map chip, so we have 13 bits for the address, and the out is of course of 16-bit. And over here you can see this is a built-in chip. Well, dear students, this screen chip functions exactly like a 16-bit 8K RAM chip. And over here you can see that this built-in chip has a GUI side effect as well. This panel represents or simulates a physical screen consisting of 256 rows and 512 columns, and every one of these rows is represented in the screen memory map by 32 registers, as I have already explained on the lecture slide. Okay, so let us set the screen pixel 00, and the next one 01, 02, 03, so on to 015 to 1, so that we will have 16 dots over here, black dots. 16 pixels of this row 0 will be set to 1. So we need to write 16 ones over here. So Over here I need to place 16 ones, and remember -1 means all ones in 2's complement. Let me change it back to decimal. Let me set the load input to 1 because I want to write, and the address is of course 0. Let me run the clock, a tick and a tock, and you see the 16 pixels, the initial 16 pixels of row number 0 are black now, and this is represented by a single line, and this is because the 16 bits of the screen memory map at address 0 has been set to 1. Let me set the next 16 bits of screen memory map to 1 as well. And if I write another 16 bits over here, so this line will be extended. And how to do that? I just place the address 1 over here. Let me do a tick and a tock. So you see this line is extended. Okay, let me play more with this. Let me set the first 16 pixel of screen row 100. Since each screen row is mapped on 32 16-bit register, so the address of the register that location will be 3200, I think. So let me put the address to 3200. So probably over here somewhere row number 100 will be having a line this time. Let me do a tick and a tock. You see we have a line over here. Let me write something random at some random location. Let me write, let's suppose a value 3855 at location, let's suppose 1234. So I don't know what is the actual pixels which will be set on or off. Let's see that. Okay, that's great. So these are the location. Let me change it to binary. Okay, so what we have written in the memory map corresponding to these pixel is 4 zeros, 4 ones, 4 zeros, 4 ones. So these are the 4 ones and 4 zeros and the 4 ones. So that is great. I think this makes sense now. Dear students, please play with this to have a very clear understanding of the mapping between the 16 bits 8K memory map with the corresponding pixels on the physical screen. Do the math. Try to write a hello world in this screen. Try to draw a circle on this screen, a square, a rectangle, a triangle, and so on. And let me fall back to the slides. Now let us see as to how we can interface the keyboard. After seeing the screen, this will be a piece of cake for you. Okay, so the way the screen is mapped onto the RAM, the keyboard is also mapped onto the RAM. The physical keyboard is associated with a keyboard memory map, which is a designated RAM area dedicated to manage the keyboard. The physical screen was of 256 rows and 512 columns, so the screen memory map was of 131072 bits, as we have seen. And since the hack characters which we want to input via keyboard are less than 256, so for the keyboard we only need 16 bits. So the keyboard memory map is a single 16-bit word at RAM address 24576. And this slide shows the character set of the hack computer. These are some of the important keys and their corresponding ASCII codes that the hack computer recognizes. For example, the decimal codes for the uppercase alphabet start from 65, lowercase alphabet start from 97. The codes for the decimal digits 0 is 48, 1 is 49, and these are some of the special symbols. The left arrow is 130, up arrow is 131, and so on. Okay, so well, dear students, when a key is pressed on this keyboard, the scan code, which was mentioned on the previous slide, appear on the keyboard. Since there is no key being pressed right now, so the keyboard memory map contains all zeros. So to check out which key is currently pressed, we simply probe the keyboard chip, keyboard memory map, the location 24576 inside the RAM, and whatever key is pressed can be found at the RAM location 24576. And we have already seen how we can read the contents of a specific address of the RAM. Okay, so if a user presses uh, the capital K key on the keyboard, the code sent or written on the keyboard memory map at RAM address 24576 will be 75, whose binary representation is shown over here. Similarly, if a user presses the digit 4 on the keyboard, the code sent to the memory map at RAM address 24576 will be 52, and this is the binary representation of 52. So whenever a program want to read the keyboard or want to read the key pressed by a user on the keyboard, it will simply read the 16-bit word at memory address 24576. Okay, so now it is the time again to have a demo of the built-in keyboard chip on our hardware simulator. Let me load the keyboard chip. So the keyboard chip is over here, keyboard.htl. Fine. So take a look at the HDL pane. So this is again a built-in chip. The chip interface shows that it is a read-only chip, as it has no input pins at all. It has only one 16-bit output, namely out, which emits the value that is currently stored on the keyboard memory map. That is a 16-bit RAM register addressed at 24576. And dear students, over here you can see the GUI side effect of the built-in keyboard chip. If you press this keyboard, you can see it is lined blue over here. Now this keyboard is actually associated or connected to the real computer on which I am working. Now whatever key I will press on my real keyboard, the symbol will be displayed over here, and its 16-bit binary code will be shown in the output pin over here. Let me press A. So you see I have pressed A. The binary representation is there, which is 65. Let me change this to decimal so that you can understand. Let me select this keyboard again, press A, you can see the 65 over there. Let me press B, you can see 66 over there. Let me press digit 0, 48. Let me press 1, 49. Let me press the left arrow, 130. Let me press the up arrow, 131. Let me press the right arrow, 132. Let me press the down arrow, 133. That's great. So I think the keyboard chip is far simpler than the screen chip to understand. Do play with this, and let me fall back to the slides. Okay, so that is it, dear students. I hope today's session was informative for you all. If you have liked it, please subscribe my YouTube channel and share it with your friends. I wish you all the best, happy learning, and Allah Hafiz.